Sorry. I I forgot something. I don't know how I do that. But yeah. So I'm gonna try and work on this blanket because I haven't worked on it in a while, and I would just really appreciate to try to get that done. So I really have to get this blanket done so I can do the second one. If I can move this a little bit closer. I tried to take it in the house to work on it, but normally when I've gotten so comfortable in the house where I don't work on things in the house, so I haven't worked on it in a while. Got a little fiber stuff in it. I probably should cut on my fan and bring this closer to me. Uh-oh, this one. Let me cut my fan on. I'm a little warm. I would put my air on, but I know this gonna be a little bit chillier and a little louder than the fan, so I just gotta have the fan on. It's better. And I came on early because there's supposed to be a lunar eclipse tonight for a blood moon, so I want to see it. So, and it starts around the time that I go live. So I was like, look, let me hop on live so I can be able to watch the lunar eclipse. So that's why I'm here early. I might even go in um, an extra hour than normal because I'm here early. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It depends on if I'm feeling well after 2 hours. Normally, my shoulder starts to get annoyed around after 2 hours. Hey, Tom, Tomioka. I'm doing all right. I'm making a blanket, a 5 foot wide blanket. It goes up to. I'm working up to about 6 feet. Hi, Purple Crochet. I'm not trying to work it out. My hand is acting up a little bit. I've only done like one section on it in like months, so this is me trying to play catch up because December will be here before I know it, and then I have to stop and do something else in the middle of me working on it. So I gotta go and get this one done so I can work on the second one. I gotta get back into the groove of working on it because I literally haven't been on this in about a month. It's nice to not do anything so complex for a while, so I don't really have to think about what I'm doing. I just have to sit here and do it. Hi, Yuli. There's a lot of fiber packed up in here. You tell it hasn't seen any action in a while. There's a lot of dust. I had it in the house. I normally keep it in the shed, so it's got some dust on it from constantly being. Hi, Police Academy. From us constantly moving around it. It hardly ever has dust when it's in the shed. Cause I'm not in here. Well, I'm not moving around a lot, and I'm only one person, so I probably need to find a way to go and roll it up so it'll be more comfortable to work on. My bad. I'm gonna have to roll and tuck, so I can be able to move it around comfortably on the thing. or use my really big one. All right, let's fold this up so it can be more comfortable to work on. Sorry about the pen constantly bumping up against the pole. This is why I said I gotta roll and tuck. See, that should help. Tuck that in over there. Yeah, that should help. Looks more organized. Gotta find somewhere to cook it. I gotta get back into the groove. I wonder if I use the ergonomics hook with, because I haven't used it in a while, so I don't know if it'll make me feel better. Hi, John. The first time I used it, I didn't enjoy it. gonna bring this over a little bit closer to me again. Thanks so much for the likes. I appreciate it. Trying to keep it all together. The taller it gets, the more I have to, the less I have to raise it up. When it was short, I would have to like raise it up more. It can relax on itself, so. Oh, let me see how this will make me feel. No, I have to get used to this too. Grip it a little bit differently. I'm gonna try and stick with the orange one and see if I can, help with my hands. How how like sheep though? I'm making a blanket right now, and you can find this loom on Amazon, knitting board or knittingboard.com. The general name is KB, which is short for knitting board. But you can find it on Amazon. It's called KB Afghan Loom, sorry, website, which is Knitting Board. No problem. Right, I'm knitting a blanket. A 5 foot wide blanket. I plan on going up to 6 feet. I'm debating between 6 feet or 7 feet. It depends on how I'm feeling by the time I get to 6 feet. Cause I got to do two of these. I'm making one for both of my sons for Christmas, and yeah, so yeah, you're right. I'm knitting a blanket. No, you don't have to know how to knit to do this. No problem. Thank you, Joan. I appreciate that. I'm trying to get used to using this ergonomic hook because I've been using the smaller one for years, and my body is not cooperating. So I need to go up on the handle. My body's like, we're getting older, you know. Let's do something a little different. I'm trying to find the best way to hold it. for the likes. I appreciate it. And I'm just doing E-stitch. If but the blanket will curl because it's all stockinette stitch. That's the other word for E-stitch. The formal word for E-stitch. So to keep it from curling after I've finished it, I'm going to crochet the border because I crochet as well. And the crochet border will keep it from curling. But there are ways that you can do different stitches on here to keep it from curling as well. But I was kind of in a hurry to get this blanket done, so I opted for not doing what I need to do to keep the blanket from curling. Because I felt like in the long run it was just going to be more work and more time if I do it that way. But I can't. I think I might crochet a little bit faster than I loom knit. So for a little over 10 years. I needed a drink, y'all. Trying to do with specks of fiber. Yeah. Yeah. I've made a head on this loom. I made scarves. I haven't really branched out as much because I just really enjoy making blankets. But I got like a whole collection of looms, and so I've made baby booties on looms. Um, and I think that's about it for right now. I can't think of nothing else right now. Or cows. I made cows and headbands. That's the most I've made. But this year I said I'm someone that likes to just stick to, I don't really like change. But this year I said I was gonna start going into doing sweaters and stuff like that. So you can make sweaters and cardigans and things on here too. Oh, and I've made pumpkins on loom. Pumpkins and plushies. Those are the things I enjoy doing the most. So I have made those. No, I don't have an Etsy shop. I've had one in the past, but I don't have one now. Cause I don't really. I'm trying to figure out what to put on there. I don't know if people will come to Etsy to buy, plushies. I know they'll come to buy, patterns and stuff. And I'm not a big stickler for a big. Um, I don't know how to get organized well enough to write patterns that well because I have ADHD and dyslexia, so it makes for writing patterns and stuff more annoying or a nuisance than making videos and just talking about what I'm doing. It makes the process less enjoyable per se to to write patterns. Yeah, so. But I know there's a lot more income in writing patterns. It's a big struggle for me. Thank you, Mr. G. I'm working on a blanket. I'm loom knitting a blanket. I normally don't go on this early, but I want to watch the lunar eclipse tonight. So I was just like, let me go on a couple of hours early so that I can, enjoy that time trying to catch the lunar eclipse. They said it's supposed to be over an hour long. It's like our longest eclipse in years. So I want to catch it. And it's supposed to be a blood moon, so. Uh-oh. I'm going back and forth between these hooks. This is the one I'm used to. Right, right. So yeah, I want to catch that tonight. I'm sorry, I can't see what you're saying. I wish they would start, with all this AI stuff. I'm ready for them to start translating comments like, you know, almost instantly. But if you're curious, I am working on a blanket. I'm loom knitting a blanket. Which this is technically called looming, and it's a form of knitting. And I got it from Amazon. It's if you search up KB Afghan loom, and you can make a lot of different things on here. I just mostly make blankets, and that's mostly what other people do. Hi, Leslie. The sides are starting to duck out on me, making it a little bit difficult for turning. If I had it on my bigger one, it wouldn't really make a difference. Right, Delphine. That's my favorite part of it. It makes me feel like I'm really getting something done when I'm able to wrap it really fast. And then it clicks against the pegs and stuff. So yeah, definitely. Now, if I was using variegated yarn, it's even more. It makes you even more obsessed with it. So I can't wait to get these blankets done, so I can do some variegated yarn. That's when I'm totally mesmerized and lose all track of time. I'm making a 5 foot wide, 5 foot by 7 blanket. I haven't fully decided if I'm gonna stick to the 7 part of it. And I always leave 2 pegs open because I get excited and I'll end up connecting the rows accidentally and creating a tube. So I just rather leave 2 pegs open. And this is 198 pegs on the loom. I never really use all of them. And I've made different size blankets on here, so I've made baby blankets as well. And I sit it on a lazy Susan so I don't have to constantly flip it. Cause it's, I'm pretty sure it's, pretty heavy right about now. So I always lose track of where I was. Okay, I was, cause essentially it looks the same from where you. Sometimes it just looks the same. I knew I needed an attorney, but I couldn't remember where I was because my mind is usually all over the place. So I'll get distracted and be like, "Oh, it all looks like a mess." So let's figure out where it is. Where was I? Let's see. This is 5 rows, so I might need to put a row marker right there. So then I remember to only do 5 more rows. I've got to put that row marker right there. And put this green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that one a little bit too tight. Hi, Veronica. I hope I got some more red yarn in here to find. Oh, remember bringing this black yarn in here. I don't remember. Oh, yeah. Okay, I did grab it. I'm making a 5 foot by 7 blanket. Thank you. Thanks for the likes. I appreciate it. Four more rows of black. Trying to remember. Uh-oh. Right, when that happens. That's why I kind of rap fast. Because sometimes it likes to jump off if you don't get it on the page just right. And that's me loosening up the stitch so I can go ahead and get off on this last page. I'm trying to find the pin. What I did? I try to keep the pen tucked because if I don't, it falls and bumps everything, and it makes loud noises. Even though it's I can for me it's subtle noises, but for y'all, it really be like banging. The noise triples. Because I think what YouTube does is they have some type of noise canceling thing where you don't hear a whole lot of noises unless it's what's on the camera. And so, yeah. Like if there's music going on in behind while I'm talking, when you catch the live replay, you'll barely be able to hear me because someone else was playing music in the background, which I don't really, have control over. So YouTube will fix it where you can't hear what's going on in the background. But it'll make my voice muffled. Because my neighbors sometimes they play music loudly when I'm on live, and I've tried to ask them, to cut it down while I'm working, but if they're playing music loud, you know, they're more than likely doing intaking some things that makes them a little inebriated. So all you can do is ask. I might have to go and get some more black yarn soon. Probably got enough for like 3 more rows of black. I'll wait. Let's see. 2 or 3 more rows of black. Hi, Hobby TV. Hi, Evelyn. I'm making a 5 foot by 7 blanket. I need to readjust this blanket under here again because it's starting to not let me turn the thing nicely anymore. Because it's falling all out the side. All right, let me give me a drink. Thank you. Um, Sundays and Mondays. It's usually at 8, but I wanted to watch a lunar eclipse tonight, so I was just like, I'm gonna go early, so that I can watch the lunar eclipse tonight, and it starts around 9, so that'll be a time, but be the time where I'm like on in the middle of live, because I normally go on there for at least 2 hours. I need to roll this back up again so it can tuck in a little bit. I'll let y'all kind of see the length of it while before I finish rolling it. Thank you. I'm about at a little over 5 feet now. Y'all can't even see the rest of it, but it's yeah. So I'm gonna try and re-roll this up every so often. I have to re-roll it up so it can tuck in nicely and stop hanging out the side of it. So that kind of helps for the most part. Uh-oh. have lost the pen. All right, time to tuck. Right, it sure is. Look, don't get me inspired to make one now. Cause I'm all for getting into the Halloween festivities. I just went and ordered me some face paint so I could play around with some face paint this year. I haven't played around with face paint in years, and I love doing that. I got a rocking chair back there. See my mind just going. I got a rocking chair back there. I can do a witch. I can make a witch hat and do all that. I'll just have to figure out what I do for the dress. And because I've been thinking about going live in different costumes and stuff, but I just hope I have like the patience to be like, try to actively dress up before I go live. So we'll see. Cool, Hobby TV. Okay, that's good. So you're going live, teacher? Cool. Okay. I'll need to check you out then. So I like learning some new crochet pattern. I've only been crocheting for a little over 3 years, so I love catching a crochet pattern video. I was just watching one last night because I was thinking about trying something different. You do clothes or plushies? I do both, so it really don't matter. But I love plushies the most. Awesome. Okay. I'm making a 5 foot by 7 blanket. Thank you. I'm trying to go ahead and get it done because I gotta do two of them, and I'm hoping to get them done by Christmas. If y'all hear my dog, my dog is outside. He's not an outside dog, but he's outside right now. He probably should be pottying. And he's barking at the neighbors. Thank you. No. You working on something that's the same colors? Is that what you're saying? Oh, you're probably asking me, am I gonna make the blankets the same colors? Yes. So I probably won't put that one on live because I don't want to drive y'all nuts with red and black all the way to Christmas. But yes, I'm making my two blankets for my sons because they both like red, like their dad, and their dad favorite colors are red and black. So I'm just gonna assume they like red and black. So um, yeah, so I'm making blankets for them for Christmas. And I'm thinking about making my husband some Slytherin paraphernalia. So I'm thinking about making him like a head and scarf with Slytherin colors. So I think he'll like that. And so with that, I might have to go and find a thing, an emblem for it. I don't know, but I think he'll like it. If not that, I'll do Zelda, some Zelda. Get him like a Zelda head and scarf. He'll appreciate that even more. So I might do Zelda. I had started on some Zelda stuff for him a while back. It's just I had got so busy, like a little over 2 years ago. I had started him some Zelda stuff. I think he'll appreciate that. I don't know which one to do. So that should be that's 8. So I gotta do 2 more rows of black. There's the cicadas. I've been waiting on them to start. I knew they was gonna start singing soon. They started singing around this time. Certain areas get cicadas every few years or so. We get cicadas every year. Uh oh, I'm just bumping stuff. So I gotta go find me some inspirational colors for Zelda, or just look online and see who's done a Zelda scarf. I don't know if he'll like a link hat or not because of the shape. Because if I do the shape, I'm gonna do like the ear. I'm gonna add the ear to the side. Or maybe I should like do that to the front of the hat, make a beanie, and then do like the yeah. Just my mind's going right now. My creative process is going. And I made the kids hats last year, so I didn't want to like, or yeah, last year or earlier this year, and I don't want to like make another hat for them. Let me tuck that before it starts to go everywhere. It feels like it's gonna be a really cool fall this year. I don't know, because usually we get fake fall before around this time before fall gets here, and it seemed like fall just came in and was like, I'm comfortable. Go ahead and get your apple cider and pumpkin spice together. My only hope is that it doesn't get cloudy tonight, so we can actually be able to see. Because last time we were trying to watch the moon and we couldn't see nothing. We were already too far south of it, and the sky wasn't very clear. I think we were trying to see the asteroids or something. I can't really remember. It's my last row of black. that I'm about to wrap for a while. I mean, until I finish this next row of red. So I'll be happy to cut that loose. All right, get this knot out of here. Yay. So now I don't have to deal with this clamping here. I mean, clicking all over the place for right now. I could tuck this. And I cut it long enough so I can thread it back into the back of the blanket so I can hide it. Thanks so much for the like. And then I'll change to red after I finish this row. That's one thing about when you cut it, you have to be careful not to lose that last stitch. That's my neighbor's dog. And I also get asked how to change colors. All you really have to do is just create a slip knot with your new color, place it on any peg where you would like for the color to change it. I hope with my luck that I left the wrapping tool on the other yarn. Knowing me, I didn't. So I try to keep two wrapping tools for each. I mean, keep a wrapping tool for each one, so I don't have to keep rethreading it. Uh-oh. Hi, Mallory. 5 foot wide. Even though I left out two pegs because I'm gonna crochet a border, so that'll add that whatever I just lost off of it. Excuse me for dropping these. Thanks for the likes. I'm gonna try to tuck this back in here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty big. Um, I've really been working on it since February, but I have a lot of projects that I've had to stop and work on. But it typically takes me anywhere between 60 to 80 hours to make one. But this year I've been really sick, so I haven't really had upon. In addition to being sick and working on other projects, it's taken me way longer than I expected. It's the it would have just taken me a month, but I just been really sick. So typically, one this size would take me about a month, or if not a month, maybe no more than 6 weeks. Let me grab my red yarn, and hopefully it's already threaded, so it's not that much. Yay! I left the wrapping tool on it, so I don't have a lot of this, but I did buy some more red because I'm using more red than black. Okay, my slip knot. Oh yeah. I'm sorry to hear that you're in the hospital. I hope you're getting better. But also you can do if you don't want to get one like this big and because of your space, You can get a small one and do the 10 stitch method, and they say it works up a lot faster than working on this one. But for me, I'm like, I've already bought it, so. And with the 10 stitch method, you can make one any size, so it don't have to. You can even put the 10 stitch method on here and make one any size that you like, so it doesn't have to necessarily be just 5 feet. But I'm a if it ain't broke, don't fix it type person. So I just keep doing what I'm used to. And y'all just seen me change. This is how you change colors. Just create a slip knot and put it on whatever peg where you'd like to change the color. So it don't have to be like your beginning peg. You can just change the colors anywhere you feel like. But if you do that, make sure that you account for those pegs that you where you stopped. So I'm trying to get this skein to stop falling all over the place. Let's see if I move it further back. This should help. Yeah, that helps. And I'm using 2 different brands of yarn. I'm trying to save money, especially since I'm making a gift. And this is Red Heart red. I stuck with this one because it's the brightest red I've had, and the other one is the mainstays black. The mainstays red is a little bit duller than this one. Oh, okay, cool. Now, I started crocheting about 3 years ago, and typically when I'm not on live, because this is mostly what I do on live. When I'm not on live, crochet takes over my life. So yeah, that's like this was my first addiction. Crochet was my second, but it's taken over. Like it's hard not to put it down, especially it's because it's more convenient to work on anywhere. So the only way a loom is really convenient is if you're working on a small loom. And I have a 24 peg loom that's like smaller than this circle, so it is travelable. But yeah. Dapper, stop. You're so funny. Um, I can't even remember. Cause I'm just working it. The first one I could tell you the first one I done, which was a 5 foot by 5 foot. I used a little over four skeins of 400 and something yards of yarn to make it. Right, right. You can just do about anything with it. So true. The hard part was starting for me, but after I started, Those after starting it is very easy. Like I picked up on knitting in like 30 minutes. Crochet took me inconsistently 5 years because I just kept getting frustrated with it. But after I picked it up, learning everything else was a breeze. It's learning how to hold the hook is the most difficult part. I learned how to knit on the needles and do looming first before I learned crochet. So I'm still a beginner on the knitting needles. Hi, Life with Paige. You're so funny. Stop it. How are you doing? No, you're not banned. Because I know you're joking. My husband can joke around like that too. So I totally get it. But now since he's a professional, he has to joke only like well, I don't know. He might joke around some of his colleagues that he trusts in that way when they're more in a private setting. But yeah, he does that too. So I totally get it. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I'm glad you're doing good too. I'm more like a corny jokester. Like I'm trying not to offend you, but I want to make a joke, and he's more like a let the offense begin. No, I've never seen that. Sashio, Sashia. I'm sorry. Right, right. Yeah, I think he got a group of friends that he joked like that in secret at work. What's tambor? Tambor. But yeah, that it'd be like such a thin line trying not to get canceled. Okay. I hope you get a good rest. I'm just working on a blanket, a 5 foot by 7 blanket. I appreciate you for coming in. Oh, okay. What is that though? Tambor. And that's what I read. The way I just said it is the way I thought I said it earlier. I just sometimes my dyslexia rules the world. So it'll I'm thinking of it, but I'll say something totally different than what I'm thinking. It usually takes me anywhere between 60 and 80 hours, depending on what I'm doing. Okay, that does sound like something I'd be interested in. I have been watching videos of crocheting beads onto projects. I saw one a couple months ago where they were doing like this geo look in the middle and you squeeze it and it's kind of supposed to be like a fidget type thing. Thank you, Mallory. Return it. And this one's way too long. Like, just ridiculous. A ridiculous amount of time. I'm pretty sure I haven't worked on it any more or less hours, but the amount of time, like normally I would have finished this in like a month to 6 weeks. But this one I've been working on since February. But I've been like really sick and I've had a lot of other projects to get done. So if you ask me like how many projects I've done since February, would be like so about 30 projects since since February, other than this blanket. I've even made another baby blanket on the other Afghan loom that I have while working on this blanket. And it's supposed to be Winnie the Pooh, and I haven't had the chance to finish it either because I'm supposed to crochet the appliques for it, but I just haven't had the chance to. I wanted to do Winnie the Pooh since it went back on not copyright, but you know the other word for it. I can't think of what it is right now. It went back on commercial use this year or last year, so I've been trying to do more Winnie the Pooh stuff. Okay, cool. I don't do embroidery, but I do something very close to it, and that's cross stitching. So I I may be able to like figure it out. I went and bought me some fabric too to do some cross stitching on. Yes, me too. Me too. I figured out how to do it over crochet. I like it more than duplicate stitch over knitting. I still haven't quite figured that one out yet. I probably just need to practice more. I've done like one or two duplicate stitch projects for knitting. It depends. So if you want to work it up really fast and you want to use thicker yarn, some people do use blanket yarn on here, but I never do it because I feel like I have to constantly adjust for tension if I do the two. So you can use number six yarn on here, but there are wide gauge looms for it. So when it comes to smaller gauge looms like this and a lot of their other looms, I usually go for knitting board. But when it comes to wide gauge looms, I go for loops and threads and Michael. So if you want to work it up fast, you would want to lean more toward blanket yarn type stuff or 5-way yarn. But I hardly see people putting 5-way yarn on here. I've done it before and I hated it. And I've never used 6-way yarn because I struggle so much with 5-way yarn. But I have a lot of other wide gauge looms, so I go in between the two. And KB will say this is wide gauge, by the way. So, but I've seen even wider gauge looms. Let me pull one out for you real quick so I can show you the comparison. So the visual is better explained. So both of these are 24 peg looms, and this is the wide gauge one, of course, and this one the small gauge. And this one is by KB, and this one is by Michael's Loops and Threads. But according to um, KB, this is their wide gauge loom, but to me, this is wide gauge and this is small gauge. So thank you, Sasha. I appreciate it. And thank you for telling me about something that I like to learn about. Hi, Irene. So thank you for sharing that with me. I'll be off here soon myself. I got 30 more minutes, y'all. Cause the lately I really only been doing 2 hours, but I really wanted to show y'all the color change before I got off. So yeah, so I'm just gonna go to about 30 more minutes, and I'm gonna get off of here because I don't want to press my luck. I think I might be getting back to the point where I finally got my health under control, where I'll be able to um, go about 3 hours again. Because right now my shoulder isn't hurting, so that's a good thing. No problem, Julie. You can still create a blanket with the smaller ones by using the 10 stitch method, by the way. So you don't have to like get this one just to make a big blanket. Hi Amber, hi Lively Page. So if you're still wanting to make a blanket and you're like, you don't necessarily want to buy this one, you can still do the 10 stitch method. Right, sure can. Trust me, I learned. I've been learning the past year. The past year has been really rough. I actually have a pinched nerve in the shoulder, and I have arthritis in my neck. So I've been trying to be very careful with it. Cause at first, this has been the longest week in a minute in months that I've been without a migraine. So it's usually like every 2 or 3 days I have a migraine, but I haven't had a migraine in a week. So I think for right now, I'm on an uphill climb. I don't know if it was because it was really hot or I know when it gets really cold, that's not a good thing, but I don't know if it's because it was hot during the summer, so hot and stuffy where was it creating the migraines. Because since it started feeling pretty decent outside, I haven't really. I've been. It's threatening a headache, but it hasn't really came to like full on. Do you have a wrapping tool Sunday? Yeah, yeah. I hope he feels better, or your partner feels better. But yeah, yeah. It's been a really rough year. Like I've lost a lot of weight and all that stuff. So I would suggest this is like the wrapping tool. That you get a wrapping tool. It helps a lot with tension, and you can use like just an old clicking office pen or a straw or something. But I have a preference to the pen because if I take the tip of it off, I'm trying to hold on. Let me see if I can hold hold it on there. If I take the tip of it off, I can use like any gauge of, or any thickness of yarn with the pen. So if I use this part, I can use 4 weight or thinner, and then when I take it a loose, I can use 5 weight or thicker, to 5 weight up to 7 to work with this part. So I prefer the pen, but the pen can be difficult to take a loose versus the straw. You can just cut the straws because they're plastic. But yeah, I'm trying to get this to not pop off of here. Let me see if I can get that back down there. But yeah, that was the same with me. When I first started loom knitting, I kept quitting because of the tension part. So once I started using the wrapping tool, like I've been wrapping ever since for the past 5 years. Like I quit loom knitting for like several years before I started back the past 5 years. No problem. So it really does make a difference. But the only stitch that you can use with the wrapping tool is each stitch. It won't work with any other stitch. But other stitches you have to manipulate with your hand the whole time, so the tension really doesn't matter in those instances, except when you're trying to do a really tight stitch like the E stitch. I mean, not the E stitch, the U stitch, or the line stitch. I think that's what it's called. Right, because they'll be like, I don't understand. I don't know. I'm just like, the weather. Yeah, it rained hard yesterday, and I got the rain. I'm in my scalp, so yeah, it has been the worst when it rains, and um, just a little wind. It don't even matter. Just a little wind to make my scalp a little cool. It'll set it off. And then sinuses make it worse. Like it goes from the front of my head all the way to the back of my neck every time. And then I get spots where it feels like someone's pulling my hair like in that one spot, like constantly. So that's why I feel like it's the weather. So I was like, I'm trying to enjoy fall while it's, while I can, because I feel like this year it's gonna be a little chillier than last year, because we usually get fake fall around this time, and I haven't really seen us get fake fall. It hasn't turned back to summer. It's all felt like fall for about the past week or so. So I'm trying to take advantage of it as much as I can. Exactly. I swear. Like that's being congested makes me even madder. Hi Samikia, how you doing? It makes me it agitates me. I can't stand to be congested. And then when I'm congested, my ears are so sensitive. My ears get congested too, and I'm just like I get so uncomfortable. I can't sleep. I'm so agitated because uh I can't stand not being able to barely hear out of one ear. Just it drives me up the wall. And my ears are very sensitive to sound. So yeah, I'm like, thinking about it right now is driving me nuts. And then one side of my nose stays constantly stopped up. So I finally accepted it, where I'm just like, that's just normal now. But I can't stand for both of them to be. I it like there's a level of congestion. Like I'm at a low level of congestion every day, and then when I get sick, it just triples. Hi, crazy queen. And then I don't want to take anything because right now I'm constantly nauseated. So taking liquid stuff is annoying. I'm already on like 4 different medications during the day. So I'm just like, I don't want to take any more extra medications, because I'm just like, God, can I get away from it? Get away from something? Can I get a break? Right, all over. What you said. So I've been trying to do better with wearing my hat and stuff when I know it's raining, and I know even though it's not chilly outside, I'm just like, you gotta do better. You have to wear, your hood regardless of how much rain is coming. You have to do it. because if you're single crocheting, this pretty much the same thing, to be honest. And I do crochet, so this is pretty much the same thing. If you decide to do a blanket in 198 stitches with single crochet, it's the same thing. And I got a preference for the look, so I make crochet plushies because that's my preference for the look, and I loom knit blankets because that's my preference. I like the way the stitches look. Oh, thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. And I'm a beginner crocheter, so I just, just based on preference, everything's the same for me. If I were to crochet a single crochet blanket without double stranding the yarn, it would be the same. Because I can double strand the yarn and I can work it up faster on a different loom. There are wide gauge looms I could put two strands on and work the blanket up faster, but this is my preference. I don't like the way double strand projects look on knitted or crochet, unless it's very thin yarn. So yeah. And with this, I don't have to think much about it. So when I'm on this loom, I don't have to think much about what I'm doing. I can um, have conversations and stuff without missing a beat. Hi, JP. So I'm able to have like a good old conversation. With crochet, I can't really have a lot of conversations. I have to concentrate more. Yes, USA. Southern part of USA. So it may be a slight southern dialect with it. Yeah, I got about 15 minutes left. That's cool. I've been crocheting for over 3 years. I've even started writing patterns and everything. It's just a preference. Oh, that's Samikia. Okay, you got it. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you because we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. I'm so excited. Okay, JP, that's cool. Thanks for the likes. I am so excited. I can't wait to see all that you get indulged into because it's an addiction to collect patterns. It's an addiction to collect yarn, and it's an addiction to uh, find like that perfect stitch. I like doing the V stitch, but I ain't really done it lately. I only did it that one time. It worked up so fast. So yeah. Hi, Crystal. Thanks so much for the like. Thanks so much for the likes, y'all. But yes, ma'am. Thanks so much for the likes. I appreciate it. I am feeling the love. No, I'm from Arkansas. Like I'm closer to Glorilla area. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, your hands are full. Your hands are very full. Uh oh. Ooh. Stop sliding on. Left the place. Hi, Mimi. Right. I hope one day I get to visit outside the U.S. too. I've only been like to Hawaii, so I've never really been out. My husband went to Scotland one time, so I would like to uh travel across the ocean, have a nice little visit. Yeah, that's really it's not really like the plane. It's just like the unknown area because it's just been so much going on the past several years. So, well, really since around COVID. So I just really it was like at the top of my list. But he's so protective that he don't really. I lost. I was supposed to go that year that he went when we were in college, but I was pregnant at the time, so I couldn't go. Yeah, yeah, that was concerns me the most is making sure I'm traveling to the right area, and that's the same here. So it's not just overseas; it's places here that I would like to visit, but you know, we used to go to Chicago almost every year. when we were just out of college, but we don't really go to Chicago anymore. So we used to, yeah. I miss it all. I miss traveling. Uh oh. Right. But I would. My favorite place would be to go to Scotland. And it just seems like they have like a lot of open land, a lot of open space, a lot of green to see. So I'm more attracted to places where I can, it feels like, because I live in the country already. Although I don't need to just go overseas to see see some more country, but that's just what I like. Yeah, I like beaches too. I just want to see a couple of what is it I can't think of right now. Every time I want to say something, when I'm in the middle of talking, I was castles. I want to see a couple of castles. That's like my main goal. I'm such like I'm a geek. I like watching store movies and stuff about dragons and all that stuff. So yeah, I know it's not real, but it's just like the closeness. That'll be as close as I can get to all of that. My little fantasy. This should be my last row, y'all, because I'm very close to that 30-minute mark. So once I wrap this and knit off, this would be the last. And no, I don't speak French. I would have loved to, but I have a friend. She's from Haiti, and she speaks French. This is about as close as French as I've gotten. And I've tried learning Spanish because that was part of our curriculum when we were younger, but I know very little Spanish. Hi, Dina. I'm making a 5 foot by 7 blanket. No, yes, yes. This is a lazy Susan under it. Yeah, see, I know that. I know bonjour, and I've heard her use bonsoir before, but I can't quite remember what it is. Thank you, Sunday. Yeah, so I've caught on a few things that she said, and of course, being younger, you catch on to the bad words quicker than you catch on. Then you catch on to the good words. And of course, I don't really even say bad words like that as much, but that's at the time with the bad words she was using and why she was using it was very funny. But I don't want to repeat, what her one of her what she Right, very hard work. Trust me, I get it. I totally get it. You know, we all got those certain things that we'll learn, regardless of how much it may frustrate most of the population. And it's just like that tweak for us. It's like I learned it. I don't care, you know, how much work goes into it. But yeah, I feel like we all got that one thing about us, like writing. I struggle with writing. Hi, Barbara. I struggle with writing because I have dyslexia, so that's not something I'll enjoy doing. But I sit up and read novels and stuff, but I feel like writing is just too much. So it's we all have those things that nobody else would do but us, especially when it's not hurting anybody else. So yeah, but I totally get it. This is very tedious. For me, it's an escape. Like I don't have to think or talk. I don't have to think about what I'm doing. I just do it so that my mind can be distracted and think about other stuff because I've been doing it for so long. And then once I finish knitting off this row, I will open it up and let y'all get the you know the gist of what how far along I've gotten. Excuse me. Thank you, Grace. Anyway, it'll put you to sleep. Cool. That's good. Sunday. I'm talking more on like I really want to write patterns and stuff, and I've tried writing patterns, but because I have ADHD and dyslexia, I get very uninterested in while I'm writing the pattern. So I'll go back to the pattern and be like, where was I? Like, what's going on here? Why did you write that? Why did you, I'll start shorthanding stuff to like kind of make it work. But then I go back and I'm just like, what was I doing? Like, what is wrong with me? Exactly, Samikia. An hour and 30 minutes. I've been on here for like since a little after 4 o'clock. I've been out here for about 2.5 hours. Exactly. Now, if I had some music, if I could play music on YouTube, oh, it wouldn't be nothing but a thing. If I could have some music playing in the background, everything would be over. Yes, yep, and have something warm sitting on your legs. I sure was just thinking about that last week, or earlier this week. I was like, ooh, it's starting to get cool. Now I can set the blanket on my lap and get some heat while I sit here and work and all this stuff. Cause I usually have the air conditioner on, and I don't even got it on right now, cause it's gonna be chilly in here if I do. I had a show that was slowing me down, and I'm glad I binge watched it and it's over with now. But I watched Downton Alley at what that Abbey, Downton Abbey. I'm trying to say it right because I know I always want to say Downtown Abbey and it's Downton Abbey, and it was so good. And I've been watching the binge watching new stuff, and I know I shouldn't be doing it because when I binge watch new stuff, I don't really get nothing done. Like I be like, hold up, wait a minute, I gotta rewind it. It's and I'm mostly crocheting when I'm not on live, so I have to stop and be like, "Gosh, I missed it. Hold on." Yes, right. And I just watched it this year. I had been trying to watch it, and I just watched it this year, and I binge uh, watched all the seasons, and it was so satisfying. And so now I gotta go back and binge watch what's that show? It's Bridgerton. I gotta go back and binge watch Bridgerton because it's coming back out next year. They really made me mad because they gonna advertise it coming back out in February of this year, but it doesn't come back out till next year. I was like, so why tell me that it's coming back out right now? I don't have time. I'm gonna lose interest by the time it come back out. So now I gotta go sit up and binge watch it so I can anticipate it coming back out now. But I need to try that one. I need to try Outlander. And I just I watched what was that not Walking, was it Walking Dead? No, it wasn't Walking Dead. It was the other show. I've been binge watching new stuff this year and I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But at the same time it's like when am I gonna ever get the chance to really watch it? So my normal go-to shows are I watch Transformers, I watch The Hobbit, and that well those are movies, but I rewatch a lot of shows to make me stay productive. But it wasn't the case. This past year I just been like I need something new to watch. So y'all, I am about at 48 inches. So I don't remember like I'm very close to 5 feet. So that's great, awesome. Yes, that's what I was saying, Barbara. I was like, it's this supposed to be fake fall, turn back into summer, back to fall. Like it hasn't done that. So I'm just like, I feel like it's gonna be really cold this year because I was like, there hasn't been a fake fall this year, and like I let all of my stuff in my garden die because it was so hot outside and I was getting so many migraines. So I let the stuff in my garden die, and now that it is fake fall, all my tomatoes are coming back. The cucumbers are done for, and my strawberries are coming back. So I was just like, oh, that sounds like a good time for me to do some cabbage and some greens. So I think I'll go outside and do some cabbage and greens soon. But yeah, so we're at 48 inches. I'll be back tomorrow, but I'm trying to decide whether I want to keep working on this blanket or do crocheting. But the part of me is like, I really need to be working on this blanket because I really need to be getting it done because I have a second one to do. And I normally only do, um, thank you, Sunday. I grew, what was it? I grew collard greens during the early part of the summer because I was just curious. And the cabbage white butterflies came and ate them all up. So, so I lost all my greens. I was like, oh, that's why they tell you to really just plant it during the fall, because then the butterflies are really, they're pretty much out of the way. But yeah, the butterflies lay eggs on them, and the caterpillars clean the greens out. So I was like, I'm towards the end of this month, I'm planning. I don't really know which ones are the bitter ones, the collard or the mustard ones. So I've been trying to remember because I do like eating greens, but I haven't really eaten them in a while. I watched Queen Charlotte too. I enjoyed Queen Charlotte, and I watched Queen Charlotte before I watched the Bridgertons because I always typically watch shows that had Queen whatever in it, and it was British. I typically watch my shows that way, and I didn't know Bridgerton was like this pretty much the same person, and so I was like, oh, okay, and I got hooked into it too, so. I've been trying to watch everything. It's another show I can't think of right now that I just finished before I watched Downton Abbey. It just it's a new series. Now, if I can think of it, I'll let y'all know. But it's a new series, and it's the storyline is more conservative than Bridgerton, and it might be a little bit more conservative than Downton too. So I really enjoyed it. It's about when they during the early parts of when they came over here to the U.S. So it's the people are still like they have some of their British ways that they carried over with them, but it's more it's during the early parts of settlement. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and head off from here. What you said making me hungry. And the holidays coming around. I don't need to be trying to be eating some stuff right now, but I do have a taste for some collard greens. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, y'all, because then I'm gonna keep talking about food and TV shows, and y'all ain't gonna never get me off of here. But I will be back here tomorrow. I just ain't. I think I'm just gonna go back to this Loom tomorrow though, because I really got to get it done. Right. My son ruined mac and cheese for me when he was little. He has ADHD too. And so when he was little, we would have to eat macaroni almost every night because he would not eat anything else. Like everything was chicken to him, and he refused to eat chicken, and he would really only eat macaroni. So if I eat macaroni now, I can only take one bite of macaroni, and then I gotta be done because yeah, that's like a thing that I don't need. I can do without. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night, and I'm going to go prepare to go watch the uh, the lunar eclipse tonight. That's what I'm going to go do. All right, y'all. Have a good one.